Hi, my name is Amy May. I'm the librarian at Delkinson Intermediate School in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. We have grades 4, 5, and 6. The novel I've chosen for my book talk today is Crenshaw by Katherine Applegate. You might remember Katherine Applegate from her Newbery Award-winning novel, The One and Only Ivan. Crenshaw is the story of a little boy named Jackson and his family, his little sister Robin, his mom and dad, and a friend of Jackson's named Crenshaw, his imaginary friend, Crenshaw. It was a cat. Crenshaw hasn't been around for a few years, but the family falls on some hard times. The father has gotten sick and lost his job. The mother's been laid off from her job. Some days there's barely enough food in the house to eat. Many times they don't have the money for the rent. And they're just living day to day. The kids are worried, the parents are worried, but trying to make the best of the situation. Crenshaw had been there for Jackson many years before when he was much younger, and now Crenshaw suddenly reappeared. Jackson's not quite sure why Crenshaw came back, or if anybody else can see Crenshaw besides him. So he decides that Crenshaw must go. I'd like to read a little passage from the book for you. I went to my window and opened it. Carefully, I pulled out the screen. Our apartment was on the ground floor. A few feet below the window, a cushion of grass waited. "Goodbye, Crenshaw," I said. He opened one eye a bit, like someone peeking from behind a shade. "But we're having such a lovely time." "Now," I said, I put my hands on my hips to show I meant business. "Jackson, be reasonable. I came all this way. You have to go back to wherever you came from." Crenshaw opened his other eye. "But you need me here." "I don't need you. I have enough to deal with already." With a great show of effort, Crenshaw sat up. He stretched, easing his back into an upside-down U. "I don't think you understand what's going on here, Jackson. Imaginary friends don't come of their own volition. We are invited. We stay as long as we're needed, and then, only then, do we leave." "Well, I sure didn't invite you." Crenshaw sent me a doubtful look. His long, whispery brows moved like strings on a marionette. I took a step closer. "If you won't go, I'll make you go." I put my arms around his waist and yanked. It was like hugging a lion. That cat weighed a ton. Crenshaw dug his claws deep into the quilt my great Aunt Trudy made when I was a baby. I gave up and let go. "Look," Crenshaw said as he extracted his claws from my quilt, "I can't go until I help you. I don't make the rules. Then who does?" Crenshaw stared at me with eyes like green marbles. He put his two front paws on my shoulders. He smelled like soap suds and catnip in the ocean at night. "You do, Jackson," he said. "You make the rules." I would definitely recommend this book. I wasn't sure about reading it. I was afraid it would be sad. I don't like sad books. But it's a touching story that I think a lot of kids could relate to. I think we've all had an imaginary friend in the past, and we wonder where they came from and where they go. I would definitely recommend this for any elementary age group, and you adults might enjoy it too. My picture book that I've chosen today is my all-time favorite picture book. I have my lion with me. It's called The Library Lion. It's by Michelle Knudsen, and it is illustrated by Kevin Hawkes. This is my all-time favorite book. Like I said, I love this book. I read it to my students each and every year. It has a 470 Lexile. It's 48 pages. The characters in it: Miss Merriweather, the librarian, Mr. McBee, her assistant, and then there's the lion. And we also see the people who come and go in the library and how they interact with the lion. The lion just shows up at the library one day and walks right in like he owns the place. They're not sure what to do with him because there aren't any rules about lions in the library. Miss Merriweather is quite the stern librarian. She's very big on rules, and she doesn't like people to break those rules. She figures they're there for a reason. But the library lion comes in, and he kind of takes a place in everyone's heart. Let me read you just a little passage. The lion wandered all around the library. He sniffed the card catalog. He rubbed his head against the new book collection. And then he padded over to the story corner and went to sleep. No one was sure just what to do. There weren't any rules about a lion in the library. The illustrations in this book are absolutely gorgeous. The children that I read it to absolutely adore this book and love when I make the roaring of the lion. It's a tender story. It's a sweet story. It's one that can be read to children of any age. I don't think children ever get too old for this book, and I know that I never will. I would give it a 5-star rating, as well as Crenshaw. I would also give Crenshaw a 5-star. It is quickly becoming one of my favorite books also. So if you have the opportunity to read either of these books, I would highly recommend them both.